Hey guys, the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show from May 1st, 2025. We're going to look at some of the rookies from this past draft, fantasy wise, though. Going to take a fantasy aspect to it. Going to talk about how well they're going to do in the NFL and also look at their ADP. Going to try to guess where their ADP is, and that's always fun. So before we get started, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As you can see here on the screen, we have a merch store here, and I am wearing our most famous T-shirt, Money Laundering. I love the shirt. It's our best-selling shirt. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I assume it is because I know a lot of people bought it. But you can get
It's
that.
my favorite.
And I know, yeah, exactly. Everyone tells me it's their favorite, so it's got to be the highest purchase one. But yeah, you can get any of these shirts here. You can change the colors. We have a 20% off sale, as I said yesterday. I will tell you guys that like when we don't have a sale, I'm like, you should probably wait until there's a sale. And now there is a sale. It's 20% off everything, not just the shirts, the mugs, and our famous apron too. You can go to Amazon and buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks to the College Years, where I made fun of people I saw at Penn State for 6 years. It was fun to write, and I think you guys will have a blast reading it. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. It's the best way to support the show. Last week we had Degeneron, John Sanders, and Slew helping us out a lot. Before that, we had the boss, Karmic, Armac, Can't Make an Eagle, and others. So I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. As I always say, these YouTube ads pay nothing. You know, we're out of Q1, so if we do a show and we get no super chats, we make maybe like $1 or so. So it's anything you guys would give us is going to be way better than that. So just really appreciate you guys helping us out throughout the years already. It's like 3 years since we started the show. All right, so we are joined by Kenny, thecapIsFake.com. Kenny, how's it going?
Well, bro, first of all, $1 used to buy a cheesy roll-up at Taco Bell. We were just talking before we got recording here. I am a Taco Bell fan, and a cheesy roll-up used to be 99 cents. I don't know what it costs in Philly, but in Orlando, the cheesy roll-up used to be 99 cents. But they recently upped the price to $1.19, and so now I can't afford it. It's the worst, man. That's a 20-cent increase, man. That's a huge. It's 20% increase, man. It's I don't know. Is it tariffs? I don't know what's going on. Is it Biden? What happened? I don't know.
20% inflation. It's pretty brutal. When was it $1? Was it like a few years ago or what? Because
in the last year, in the last year, a few months ago.
I could point to, I always say this, McDonald's cheeseburgers when we were in high school. And I know this for a fact because I used to go to McDonald's all the time after swimming because I used to be starving. McDonald's cheeseburgers used to be 59 cents each. And I used to get like 4 of them because, when you swim 5 or 6 miles a day, like you're super hungry. And I'd scarf down 4 of them and chicken nuggets and French fries. It would be very cheap, like around $10 for the whole thing, and plus soda. So now a cheeseburger is $2.69. Back then you could buy about 2 cheeseburgers for $1, and now you can buy 38% of a cheeseburger for $1. So we're living in rough times, unfortunately.
Very rough, very rough. I was telling you before we started recording. Also, my wife and I have been minivan shopping. So now that we have a third kid on the way, we are in the process of in the Ortiz home looking for the ultimate status symbol. The minivan.
That's right. Yeah. Once you have 3 kids, I feel like that's the mandatory to have a minivan. So you told me that you did not have success shopping for one tonight, even though you traveled an hour. So I wish you all the best in finding one. It's pretty rough to waste an hour. Just not being able to find what you wanted. So
we test drove a brand new one yesterday. My wife and I did, and it's like they're so expensive, and I was just like. So we made a deal. We're just going to keep looking for try to get a decent used, few years old, low mileage used. We're looking for if we get to the end of June and we still haven't bought one, we may just go buy a new one and just lease it or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal to buy a new car these days. SUV better than minivan, says Brandon.
Yeah, but if you have multiple kids, it's little kids. They're hard to get in the back. If you need the third row. The third row is a big deal. So few SUVs have third row, and they have minimal leg room. It's hard to get in and out. They don't have the trunk space. So I've looked at SUVs. We looked at a bunch. My wife and I drive SUVs. We both have SUVs. We love them, but you're gonna have multiple kids, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I meanwhile I still need if we're getting a new car, I need to get my car inspected. My tags say 2023, so we're kind of we're on thin ice here, is hoping that I don't get stopped by the cops or anything, which I actually did back in 2022. My tag said 2019, and I blamed COVID for it, and the cop just like let me off. He's like, you make sure you get it inspected. I'm like, okay. So I actually did, and then now I don't think I can use COVID as an excuse anymore. So maybe I'll say, oh, I have two kids. I don't drive anywhere, which is true. Actually, I barely drive, so that's why like why I get my car inspected. I drive like twice per week, and like it's just to pick up my son from daycare. Like I don't go anywhere, so I don't know. I think it's all a scam anyway. Like what are they going to find? Like it's so stupid. It should be like once every 5 years, not once every year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Florida doesn't. We don't have inspection. That's not a thing here. So
really, oh man, should think about moving there. It sounds great.
Another reason. Come, Walt. Come.
You don't have to convince me. My wife is like, the humidity is not going to be good for my hair. That's what she said. So you don't have to convince me. Like hopefully we can take a trip down there. I don't know how with the two kids, but we could have a dinner or something, and you could pitch Florida to my wife, and then I could move down there. It would be great. Although I would say this, like you're down in Florida, your betting options suck as far as sports books. Like,
that is true.
There's no FanDuel, no DraftKings, no BetMGM, no Caesars, etc. I kind of need that for my profession. So
you have Hard Rock. Hard Rock's the only option here.
How is that? I never understood it. Like it feels like Florida would not allow that to happen, but they have. Like I just
weird loophole in the law. Hard Rock was able to manipulate, and I think they've given a lot of money to political campaigns locally to keep local jurisdictions from busting up the monopoly.
I don't know. I'm such a libertarian. If I were running like FanDuel or DraftKings, I would just open up in Florida and just like say F you. Like, what are you gonna do? What are they gonna arrest you? Like, what are they gonna do? They can't do anything. So I don't know. Anyway, so we have some comments here before we get into this. Slew asking, I didn't see Kenny at the White House with the Eagles. Well, I don't. Maybe it was Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. As
I had a scheduling conflict.
Yeah. Like super important scheduling conflict. You can't make the White House trip. Like I was actually like thinking. I was at dinner Monday night for my cousin's birthday, like with my two kids and stuff, and my parents were there, and like we were talking about it. Like really, obviously this is BS, but like really, like what could be a conflict that would prevent you from going? If you had like a wedding like planned, but it was a Monday, right? But like if I don't know, for some reason, if like one of your family members is getting married, like obviously like that would be something, but I can't even like think of anything else. I don't know. So it was BS, obviously.
You totally be, of course, 100%, right?
Yeah. But good on Saquon Barkley for golfing with. Did you see like all the reactions that Saquon got from like the stupid people on Twitter?
It was unbelievable. I mean, this Saquon Barkley was like the king of the city for the last, the entire season. People are worshiping this guy, borderline, and people are naming their kids after him. He's the greatest player of all time. We love him, dude. Once I saw he golfed with Trump, I guess, and like the comments I saw on Twitter and on Threads. By the way, I've been on Threads recently. The political climate of Threads versus Twitter versus X is very different.
Imagine, yeah.
But I mean, I saw so many Philly fans like, so we don't need Saquon. He's terrible. He sucks. We don't need this kind of trash. We would have won the Super Bowl without him. He was carried by it's all the offensive line. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I mean, the fact that politics has the ability to just like totally mush people's brains like this is just unbelievable.
People have just lost their minds. I think ever since 2016, when Trump decided to run. Actually, maybe a little before that. I think probably like the Michael Brown riots in 2012. I think that's like when it started. And then like Trump was kind of like it's kind of a reaction to that, and then so on and so forth. It's gotten so much worse. Just politically, like everyone's so divided and stuff. I don't know. Like I think if someone has a different political view than me, I'm like, depending on like what they say, I probably think they're an idiot. But like I'll still like talk to them. I don't care. But like these people like are like just willing to abandon their favorite player, like over politics. Like it's so stupid. Like if I were an Eagles fan, like I would still root for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts and stuff. Like even though he skipped out on the White House, it just
Right.
I don't understand how these people are so insane. It's so mind boggling to me.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. I don't get it. But yeah, John says you could have taken Jalen Hurts' spot. Yeah, we should have told Trump, get Kenny in here to take his spot. Brandon asking 100 gorillas or Aziz Al-Shaair. I don't know if you heard that meme is 100 people versus a gorilla, 100 men versus gorilla. Who would win in a fight? It's like the dumbest question of all time. Because like you just like wait until the gorilla's tired and just passes out. There's no stamina. Like what? It's so stupid. I don't know if you saw that, but it's ridiculous.
We have guns, right? I mean,
well, unarmed men, like
okay.
you know, but like it's so dumb. Like it doesn't even have to be 100. It's probably like 10 men versus gorillas. Right. Take it up. John says, I remember when they switched the double cheeseburger to the McDouble on the $1 menu. Worst day of my life, and that ended my father's funeral. Yeah, father's funeral and McDouble. Yeah, I mean, I had something similar when they took lemon Jolly Ranchers out and replaced it with blue raspberry. That was a dark day for me. Pollyanna says, speaking of bets, why did you start to place home run bets when you could place over 3.5 total base bets for a little less big? For instance, you would have won your bet today had you placed it. I don't know. I didn't consider that. I will look into it, but I'll say this, that DraftKings has their no sweat home run bet. So that's part of it. Like if you, like on DraftKings, I'm betting $50, and if it doesn't hit, I get $20 back. So you're basically getting like 40% off. And what I'm planning to do is I'm going to use the $20 free bet on NFL exactas, which pay out like insane values. So we're going to start with like Bills over Redskins, which is 70-1. So we're going to do 5 of them, and so we're going to have basically a free bet to win $7,000. And then we're going to move to like Redskins over Bills, and then we're going to go to Bills over Rams, the Rams over Bills, and Bills over Vikings, the Vikings over Bills, and then we're going to switch the AFC team. We're going to go to Chiefs or Ravens, and then we're going to do it like that. And I assume maybe I might include the Eagles on there. I don't know. I don't think they're going to repeat, but obviously they could. I do want to hedge it somehow, but like the fact that the Eagles lost their offense coordinator. And they lost some pieces on defense. I was much higher on them last year than this year, but obviously they can still win this year. So I will try to hedge it somehow. But yeah, I think it's a good strategy this way. But I will look into this over 3.5. Yeah, but then again, like I said too, like we do get some specials on it. Like on FanDuel, you get the 50% bonus or profit boost on Tuesdays, and you don't get that for the over 3.5 bases. So. I'll look into it, but like I think that the fact that we don't get bonus bets or profit boosts that way, like it probably makes it worse. So Sue says, why didn't Watson Football delay the show until Kamala's speech was over? Is she talking now? Why is she talking? What is she talking about?
She has a speech?
It's news to me. Is she talking about like cooking? Like that's like the only thing she got excited about, like her entire campaign. Like when she was talking about cooking, like she was so excited. And like she was so like she looks so out of it, like otherwise looked like she's just going through the motions. Sue says I wouldn't bet those home run bets without a no sweat offer of 50% profit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need the incentive for sure. Like that's part of the whole deal here. Like I wouldn't bet this otherwise. So all right, let's get into some fantasy content here. So as I said before, we're going to look at the main fantasy rookies. This is basically top 150 ADP. We're not going to look at like third string or fourth string guys. So there are, I believe, about 20 or so rookies. And Kenny, I'm going to have you guess the ADP, or maybe not guess the ADP, but like guess like, or like speculate like where you would take these guys. And then we're going to look at the ADP in relation to that and see if they're being overdrafted or underdrafted.
You're looking at DraftKings full PPR. Is that what you're looking at?
DraftKings full PPR, and this is the best ball. So there's no kickers, no defenses. So just keep that in mind once you get to like round 12 or round 13. Not that we're going to go like too deep into it. Like I said, it's top 150. There's actually a rookie who's actually exactly number 150. Yeah, without further ado, might as well start with the main guy here, Ashton Genty, drafted by the Raiders at number 6 overall. I personally thought, and Charlie agree with this, like Raiders kind of made a mistake here, taking Gentry because he's not an elite player like Saquon or Christian McCaffrey. He's probably like a tier below that. So he probably should have gone like between 12 and 20. And this was as Charlie pointed out, this is likely a nepotism pick because Pete Carroll's son is the running game coordinator of the Raiders. And so Pete Carroll might be just looking to make his son look good with Ashton Gentry. But I know we had the discussion about nepotism before, and you're very pro nepotism. So maybe you like this pick. Before we get into the fantasy, like what do you think about the Gentry pick to the Raiders?
I just generally think a running back in this position doesn't make sense for most teams. I mean, we've talked about this before. Like, are you a serious Super Bowl contender in the next 3 seasons? If the answer is yes, then drafting an elite running back in the first round totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like, had the Eagles selected Bijan Robinson, like when they had a couple years ago, that would have made sense. Obviously, they drafted Jalen Carter instead. That has turned out to be an amazing pick.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like if Carter had gone, like he should have gone in the top 3, right? Like,
yeah.
But heck, if he was gone and they had ended up taking Bijan there and ended up never signing Saquon, like that probably is still a good strategy. Do I think Gentry is that kind of caliber player? I don't. Do I think the Raiders are a legitimate Super Bowl contender in the next 3 years? Heck no, I don't. With that in mind, it doesn't feel like it's the best value. He's going to be the second highest paid running back in the NFL for the next 3 seasons because of where he's being drafted. He's being, the rookie contracts are done by slot, not by position. So no matter what they drafted in that spot, in the 6th slot. And so it just makes more sense to try to acquire a player of higher talent at a position that's more value. So anyway, that's the money side of it. But just from a pure talent perspective, I just think there are better players on the board that fit their needs better. And anyway, that's my thought.
Well, if on the off chance that Mina Kimes is listening to this, she's probably outraged because she was very upset that her Seahawks traded Geno Smith to the Raiders, and she thinks that the Raiders could probably win a Super Bowl with Geno Smith. So if you're looking at from that argument, then the Gentry will put them over the hump like Saquon did for the Eagles. But that's just crazy talk, unfortunately.
It is crazy talk.
So all right, so where would you take Ashton Gentry if you were drafting tomorrow in a PPR league? Where would you draft him? I know you don't.
Okay, where would I draft him versus where I think he's going to go? With two very different.
Yes. Where would I mean that's I feel like that's the more interesting conversation than rather guessing where he's going to go. Like, where would you draft him, and then we could look at the ADP and see if he's overdrafted or underdrafted.
Yeah, in a typical PPR 12-team draft, PPR, he's a 5th round pick in my mind.
Okay.
In best ball, a little more because I would imagine he's going to have some big weeks, particularly in the second half of the season. And so in best ball, I think he's a 4th round pick.
Okay.
I bet he's probably. My guess is ADP is low 1st, upper 2nd. I bet he's a high 2nd round pick. Is my guess. I haven't looked. I'm just guessing.
Okay, well, be prepared to be shocked. I guess his ADP is 107, round 1, pick 7. Let's slide up here.
It's higher than I thought.
He's right in between CeeDee Lamb and Malik Neighbors. Ashton Gentry right here.
I don't understand it. This makes no sense.
No, I know. These players get overdrafted like crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I mean, look, it's the rookie hype. Like it's the it's like I don't know if you saw the Family Guy episode where Peter gets a choice between the boat and the box and the mystery box, and he goes, there could be anything in this box, even a boat. And so this is kind of like what it is with the rookies. It's like they're unknown, and it's like they could be anything. They could even be who's in the 2nd round. They could be Christian McCaffrey, or they could be Devon Achane. It's like, well, you can just get those guys a little later, Yep. So I don't. It's crazy. He is the 4th rookie off the board after Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
4th running back off the board.
Fourth running back. Yeah, 4th running back. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, there's a dozen guys I would take. There's a dozen running backs I'd take before him. There's just so many question marks. We've seen better. like we saw. I mean, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, I did a research project. I looked back. I went all the way back to 2013 of every rookie running back drafted. It's on the website. If anyone wants to find it on thecapisfake.com. And I went back and looked, and like the bust rate is just really high. Like the players that actually outperform their ADP, it's 17%. 17% of players outperform their ADP. Rookie running backs, that is. And like the guys that have actually outperformed their ADP, they're like extraordinary talents, like in great situations. Like Gentry's he's a good, very good talent. Don't get me wrong, and he's probably going to be in a decent situation. Like they'll probably be decent enough for him to produce, but like it's not a great situation. He's not a great talent. I'm like, why would you take him before Derrick Henry? Like, do we not just see what Derrick Henry just did? Like Derrick Henry just had, if not for Saquon Barkley, we would be raving about Derrick Henry having one of the greatest running back seasons ever.
Yeah.
Like, why would you take him before like Malik Neighbors or Puka Nacua? Like in a PPR, those guys have proven that they are like quality producers in decent systems. Like, or sorry, maybe not Neighbors, but like St. Brown. Like, yeah. I'm around St. Brown like is a way better option in the late first than a rookie running back in a mediocre situation. I just, it boggles my mind.
Yeah, it's not like you can, if he ran behind a great offensive line, like what the Eagles had or what the Lions had with Jahmyr Gibbs, you could argue that, like, yeah, maybe he belongs like higher up, but the Raiders don't have a good offensive line. So the one good thing with Genty, I'll say that, like, he's going to play right away because they have nothing else at running back on the team. They have Raheem Mostert, who just looked so decrepit last year. Like, it's going to be Genty's workload. He's going to get all the carries. But first round, mid-first round, that's crazy. Like you even said that, like you said high second round, and that would be early, and then like he's 107. So that's pretty great. That's insane. I think. I don't know.
I won't own him at all.
Yeah, no. If this ADP holds up across like regular fantasy leagues, I won't have any of them either. I look forward to doing more best ball drafts because we can take advantage of this. John Sanders says people just assume if you take a running back at spot 6, then you're going to feed him the ball. Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. He's going to get all the workload he can possibly handle, and I think he's going to have a good rookie year. But like a 107, is he going to have a better year than Amon-Ra St. Brown in PPR or Malik Neighbors or even like those second round running backs we're talking about? Like I don't think so. I think that's this is just way too early.
We've also just seen teams draft running backs high and not have anything else on the roster and still not feed the rookie early in the season.
Yeah,
like that's like it's very common, more common than not, for the rookies to get kind of eased in over time, and so like you got to win. You got to win early in the season too, right? like the first 4 weeks of the season, they count, right? Like so, I think we saw this with Gibbs. It was a unique situation because David Montgomery was there, so they brought him along even slower, but like. We've seen this with running backs before, even when there's slop on the roster. It's like they just don't want to trust the rookie immediately. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, we saw the same year. We saw Bijan and Tyler Algier got like a lot of the workload, and he still kind of does. Like he still steals like goal line carries. So yeah, I mean, like there's no, yeah, you're right. There's no guarantee like for first few weeks he's going to get all the workload, but like for most of the year, I assume he's going to be he's going to get most of the workload, but still. May not be good enough because that team's just not very good. Sorry, Mina. It's just not. There was a skill player taken before Ashton Genty, and that was Travis Hunter. The Jaguars traded up for him, so it sounds like he's going to play receiver and then corner. I assume he's going to try to play both. It's a very unique player. Like we just haven't seen this in the common era. So where do you think Jacksonville's number 2 receiver is going to go?
Is he really going to play both positions first? Like guys
where would you take him? Yeah, I assume he's going to play both positions. I don't know. I said this to Charlie. Like, yeah, he did it in college, right? But like, if he's primarily a receiver, and he has to play a corner, like he's not preparing for Cincinnati Bearcats receivers or SMU's receivers or TCU's receivers. He's preparing for Nico Collins twice per year. He's preparing for Calvin Ridley twice per year. Like, and then obviously the receivers outside the division. Like, it's a lot tougher, you know. So
Yeah.
So where would you take Travis Hunter?
If he's actually going to be a full-time receiver, the Brian Thomas effect, I expect this team to be decent. I'm guessing he's probably going to be he's the number 2 receiver on the team, most likely, right? I mean, he's like, I don't think he's going to overtake Brian Thomas. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I feel like realistically, he's going to be like a decent, like a low end wide receiver 3. So where does the 35th receiver off the board go? Like, is that like round 7, maybe round 8? Even that probably sounds high. I don't know. That feels high. Maybe round. I'm gonna get. I would say like round 8 maybe is when you start thinking about a guy like him.
Okay,
Even that feels high.
Well, speaking of highs, ADP is 403, round 4, pick 3.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, okay. I clearly am not even close.
Well, I mean, like, you're not aiming to be close. This is like where you would take them, and like.
Yeah,
and it's not a surprise that it's just these guys are just going way too early, because we saw it in the pre-draft process. When we didn't know where they were going to go, they were going too early, and rookies generally are overdrafted. So, this is. I agree. I think this is way too early. I get like the intrigue. Like, again, this is like an unknown. We haven't seen this. He could be a superstar, but then still he's going to be the number 2 across from Brian Thomas. So. Round 4 seems crazy to me. So
if they come out at some point in the pre-draft process, and they say, listen, he's going to be a full-time receiver. He's never playing quarterback again. He's a receiver. Like that does change what you think of him. But if he's really going to try to play cornerback initially, I think that's a disaster. Then it means you're not in the meet. Like a lot of the teams, a lot of the rooms, like the different position, they have team meetings at the same time. So the receivers are meeting while at the same time the quarterbacks are meeting in 2 different rooms of the facility. What meetings is he going to be in? Is he going to jump back and forth? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, John, bringing up another point. Double the wear and tear on your rookie contract. Yeah, I mean, like twice the chance of getting injured too. Like before you get your main contract. Maybe after you sign your main contract, you can do it. But I don't know. Maybe in like clutch situations, like if it's fourth quarter and you need to stop, then he's out there or something. But then again, still, like, how much game planning is he doing? Like, how much film study is he doing on these receivers? It's the NFL is a different beast than the Big 12, which is like not. Like the Big 12 without Texas and Oklahoma, like the watered down Big 12 that has Central Florida. So, sorry for those of you listening. Central
Whoa.
I did that unintentionally. So, still, I mean, this is not Texas, Oklahoma. This is not like the old Big 12. So it's a different situation. So I don't know. I think he's going to try it. I don't think it's going to work out. It definitely could, but. I don't know. I think he's going to be primarily a receiver, but still, we agree he's going too early. The next guy I want to talk about is Omarion Hampton. He was the second running back. There were only 2 running backs in the first round. He was the second running back. He went number 22 to the Chargers. Najee Harris is there right now, and they did sign like a tender of sorts for J.K. Dobbins. I don't necessarily think that he's going to be on the team, but like he might be. But we know for sure that Najee Harris is there, and I know you're not like a big Najee Harris fan, but he has played. He has played. I'll say to his credit, he's never missed a game in his career, he's rushed for 1,000 yards in every single season in his career. With obviously with all the opportunities there, so he is a veteran, and as we talked about with like Algier getting carries over Bijan, and Montgomery getting carries over Jahmyr Gibbs, like this could be that sort of situation. So where would you take Omarion Hampton, the new running back for the Chargers?
I've never seen this guy play. I've just heard I've heard a lot of great things. The scouting reports are really great on him. I like the Chargers. They want to run the ball. They're trying to build their offense around the running back. I appreciate that. I think Najee Harris sucks. If Dobbins is back, he's injury prone. I think Hampton has a chance to be like a legitimate contributor, particularly in the second half of the year as he learns the offense and they kind of get him in. I think he could be a league winner type guy. I mean, it's a really good situation. I think seventh round, eighth round is probably. I would seriously consider him. Well, maybe in standard. That's right. I'm thinking standard in season long. I would seriously think about him in late seventh, early eighth. I don't know if he's a good pass catcher, and I don't know if the Chargers are going to throw the ball to the running backs a lot. So in PPR best ball, I think he's devalued a bit. Maybe in standard season long, late seventh. In best ball DraftKings, late eighth is my thought.
Okay, yeah, I mean he's a good receiver out of the backfield. He can play all three downs. He caught 38 passes last year, North Carolina. So yeah, I mean, look, he's a rookie, so it might be I think like later in his career, you might see him become more of a receiver of the backfield too in the NFL. Like you do have to develop as like a pass protector too. So you said mid 7-ish or mid 8. What is that? Yeah. What you said? Yeah. His ADP is 405. Round 4, pick 5. So we are 3 for 3 in running backs being overdrafted or rookies being overdrafted.
Wow. I guess I don't get that. That one I really don't get.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like he's probably not going to start until like week 4, week 5, week 6, right? Because they're going to give Harris the ball. We know that. I mean, it's Jim Harbaugh. He's old school. Like he's like Hampton down the road. He's going to be the starter there, but not right away. And so to take a running back who's not going to start right away in round 4 is crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, well, we'll move forward here, and maybe we'll have another underdrafted rookie. So let's go with the first receiver off the board, Tataroa McMillan. He went to the Panthers. I think everyone was expecting him to go like to Dallas or something, or like slip even further. There was talk like leading up to the draft that he was just going to fall. And like, yeah, he went up number 8 to Carolina. I Charlie on the show yesterday, we kind of like speculated together that this was David Tepper's meddling because it sounded like they were going to take Jalen Walker, the edge rusher, and then they switched to McMillan. And I think it's because Tepper was so embarrassed by the Bryce Young pick that he needs Bryce Young to pan out, so he's not going to be humiliated anymore. He kind of like forced the issue with McMillan. So yeah, we have McMillan here, the number 1 receiver in this class, not named Hunter, going number 8. Where do you think, or where would you draft Tataroa McMillan, the number 1 receiver for the Panthers?
First of all, the everything I read about this guy is that he's like an electric athlete, but like there's still like a lot of route running. Like there's just like, there's development that needs to happen. And Carolina sucks. And Bryce Young sucks. Do I think he has a legitimate chance to be even a decent flex option in fantasy leagues? The answer is no. I do not. So like if you're a wide receiver 4 in fantasy, what does that make you? Like that makes you like a 10th round pick?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay, that's I think he's a 10th round pick in standard typical like season long leagues. I do imagine though, just because of the talent level and the opportunity there, he's going to have some boom weeks. Like that's kind of the nature of it. So I would imagine in best ball, he's probably even more valuable. So I would say in best ball, I'd be willing to look at him, let's say late 8th round.
Okay, well, we're 4 for 4 and overdrafted. McMillan's ADP is 501, round 5, pick 1.
I'm being generous. I really am. I don't get it. I'll never get it.
Who gets more yardage this year, McMillan or Adam Thielen?
I would imagine McMillan. Okay. I would imagine McMillan. It's my guess.
I think it's gonna be close. There is some mental stuff with him. There's some issues with like work ethic I've heard, which like makes me worried. I don't know. I think he's a good player, like good athlete as he said, but the work ethic stuff kind of makes me worry about it. So
I think we've had some situations happen over the last decade where I think we've been spoiled, like because we remember Odell Beckham, we remember even Sammy Watkins having a good rookie year. We've had a couple good rookie receivers. We obviously Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors. Like I think we think of those names, we think, wow, rookie receiver. But like, if you look at the vast majority of rookie receivers over the last decade, they have sucked in fantasy in their first year. Like, so maybe I should go back and maybe that'd be a good research project to do. But like even the best rookie receivers tend to not shine until year 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see it from obviously Malik Neighbors last year, Brian Thomas. Like there were 2 amazing ones last year.
Yeah,
but
Jamar Chase. I mean,
Marvin Harrison though was a big bust last year. Roma Dunze had a couple of good games, but didn't do much otherwise. So it's been hit or miss. All right, let's move on to so John brought up RJ Harvey, the Denver running back. He was taken in the second round. Mm-hmm. So Denver, there was rumors that Denver was going to go after Gentry via trade up, didn't happen, or take Hampton or Henderson, didn't happen. So they took RJ Harvey's kind of like a smaller back, but he's pretty he's a really good runner, but there's some questions about his pass protection stuff. So we'll see if he plays right away. Obviously, Denver's running back room is very bad. They even lost Javonte Williams from last year, so it was going to be worse before Harvey. So Harvey's there. I would assume that he's probably going to be the favorite to start at some point this year, but maybe not right away. So where would you take RJ Harvey, the new running back for the Broncos?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've read about this guy is like the things that you can't teach, he has. The things that you can coach up is where he's weak. So that's a good sign. Like, pass protection, recognition of schemes, like those are things that a lot of players struggle with. I think I trust Sean Payton still, barely, but I still trust him. I trust the coaching staff there. He has a lot of intangibles and athleticism that people seem to like. Again, I'm not a college. I'm just reading what scouts say. I'm not an expert by any means. It looks like, and I like the Denver system a little more than most. So let's say I think he has a chance to pop. And so I think there's a world where he sucks and he's, not worth being on a roster. I think he's a world where he's worth. He on the high end, he should be a 4th round pick. On the low end, he should be a 16th round pick. So let's. I'll cut the difference and make it a 10th round pick.
Okay. Yeah, his ADP is pick 5 or round 5, pick 10. So we are 5 for 5 and overdrafted.
5th round pick.
Yeah.
Wow.
5th round pick. Yep. That's where we stand right now. I like this. The owner of the Jags looks like a shady Bitcoin type scam artist. Well, I mean, they can look all sorts of ways. We had the Hawk Tua girl be a meme coin scam artist. So and so they can look quite different these days. All right. So
that girl's so dumb. That girl's so dumb. Like,
yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway.
Yeah.
American society is a disaster. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I know. All right. So TreVeyon Henderson. Let's get to this 2 Ohio State backs. TreVeyon Henderson. So he was kind of like some people thought he was going to go in the first round, and he obviously fell to the second round. So he went to the New England Patriots. So he's going to be sharing a workload with Ramondre Stevenson. You can probably play all 3 down. So where would you take TreVeyon Henderson?
I actually like New England a little more. I like Drake May a lot. I like this. I like the direction of the team. I think I like the situation more than I maybe most will. And I used to be a big Stevenson fan, but I think I've cooled on him a little bit. I went back and rewatched a little bit, and it just, I think I was a little higher than it should have been. Anyway, I like Henderson more than maybe Hampton in this situation, at least early in the year, and maybe more than Harvey. So like when I said those guys were like 8th to 10th round picks, right? Is that what I said? Yeah. So I think Henderson's maybe a little higher than those guys. I think I'd be willing to take a shot on him, maybe late 7th, early 8th.
Okay. Well, still overdrafted. His ADP is round 5, pick 12.
I don't get how these guys are all bunched together.
Yeah. Let's look at like where he's being drafted around. So he's 60 overall, right around DK Metcalf, Patrick Mahomes, James Conner, Rome Odunze, Jalen Waddle, right right after Sam Laporta, Chuba Hubbard, Cortland Sutton.
Ken Walker,
yeah, Kenneth Walker. Yeah, Kenneth Walker is being taken 2 picks ahead of Harvey and 4 picks ahead of Henderson.
Why would I've seen Kenneth Walker play in the NFL. I know he's actually good.
Right. Doesn't make any sense. You're right. All right. The other Ohio State running back, Quinshon Judkins.
By the way, hold on a second. Is that Cortland Sutton being drafted 53rd overall? Is that where Cortland Sutton's being drafted?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I know it's best ball, and he's a great best ball type player, but wow, that's really high. Wow.
Oh, you think it's high? I thought it was low.
Oh, really?
That's an interesting conversation. I thought you're like you should be like in the 30s or 40s. I don't know. Cortland Sutton was amazing last year at times, and with a rookie quarterback, and he's the only receiver they have.
I haven't done ranks yet, so I'll have to go back and I just my immediate thought was that man, in the 50s, that's like 5th round, right?
Yeah.
High 5th or mid 5th,
mid 5th, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to go back and think about that one. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. We'll see. We can get into that more. The other Ohio, what'd you say?
It just sort of shocked me when I saw the name. I was surprised.
Okay. The other Ohio State running back, Quinshon Judkins, who's more runner, not 3-down guy. He's taken by the Browns in the early second round. So looks like he has a decent chance to start right away. Other Jerome Ford's there. So where would you take Quinshon Judkins?
I mean, he's. I feel similar about Harvey and Hampton. I feel like these guys are bunched together, just way lower. In the 8th to 10th rounds. So it's like, in DraftKings best ball, maybe he's in the 8th round type guy for me. Late 8th, early 9th.
Okay, we're getting a little closer. Still overdrafted. His ADP is round 6, pick 7. It's like a little more reasonable, but still too high. I agree. A little too high.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. The Brown situation is just, I mean, who's playing quarterback there? Which of their 18 quarterbacks is going to be there?
Well, I'll say this: the Browns preseason games are going to be so fun because they're going to see Kenny Pickett screw up, and then Dylan Gabriel like not complete any passes, and then Shador Sanders like what we're going to see out of him. That's crazy. And by the way, I don't know what you thought about Sanders falling, but round 5 was kind of crazy to see him fall that far.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I was shocked. I think everyone's shocked.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so another Big Ten running back, Caleb Johnson, goes to the Steelers in the 3rd round. Some people thought he'd be a 2nd rounder, so he fell to the 3rd. The Steelers obviously love to run the ball, and they have Jalen Warren there, but he doesn't have the best track record staying healthy. So where would you put Caleb Johnson?
I think he's ahead of most of those other guys. Again, I'm not a college expert, but everything I read about this guy is that he should. Most people seem to think that the Steelers got a steal to use what literary
pun intended.
Anyway, to get a steal. Anyway, most people seem to think that that was a great value in the 3rd round. I love the system. I love we've seen their running backs produce. They've had Najee Harris and Jalen Warren 1-2 punch. I could easily foresee Johnson out producing his ADP. He's a guy that I actually would like. Well, depending what his ADP is, but I think I would put him ahead of those other guys. I think I'm in a typical standard league, season long. I'd target him in the maybe late 7th, early 8th. But in best ball, maybe even a little more because he's going to have big weeks, right? Him and Jalen Warren are going to share. And so in best ball, upper 7th round.
Oh, wow. 7th? Okay. We have not underdrafted quite, but his ADP's round 7, pick 2. So looks like finally we got some like an equilibrium there where it's kind of like where he needs to be.
I think that's the right place for him. Because he's going to have big weeks. Yeah, he's early in the season, maybe start off slow because he's a rookie, but I could easily see him, having a handful of games where he is, 70, 80 yards and a touchdown or 2. Like that's not a crazy, in that system.
Yeah, I like Cam Johnson. I was surprised he fell that far. I thought Denver would take him in the mid round too. So yeah, I thought that was really good value. All right, so let's go to another first rounder, Matthew Golden, the speedy receiver that we saw the Packers take, the first receiver the Packers have taken in ages. Butters, who's on the show sometimes, is a Packers fan. He texted me when it happened. He's like, they actually did it, because like he couldn't believe that the Packers took a receiver. So
A decade too late, maybe.
yeah, seriously, really 5 years too late, because instead of Jordan Love, they could have had T. Higgins and maybe won another Super Bowl. So they got a speedy receiver to replace Christian Watson, who's injured. So where would you take Matthew Golden, the new receiver for the Packers?
It's just it's hard to know, is he going to break out from the mess of that team? Like, although they have like five number two receivers.
No.
No number one, no number threes, just 5 2s. That's how I view them. And they're kind of just like such a committee. It seems like he is going to legitimately be have a legitimate shot to be the X receiver there. So, but what is he? What at best? What is he? A wide receiver, a low end wide receiver 4? Again. So a wide receiver 4, rookie receiver, a committee. I don't know, man. Like, maybe you're like an 11th round pick for me.
Okay, his ADP is round 7, pick 10.
Yeah.
Too early. I'll say this for best ball, he's probably better because he's a home run threat, but still seems too early for someone like him. Round 7. I'll say in best ball round 9 or so seems like it could be right.
I probably feel that way about all the Packers receivers too. Like, I'm going to value them way more in best ball than in season long.
Yeah, or you draft weekly and you avoid the guy being drafted round 2, like Jaden Reed was last year after the Eagles game.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely don't want to do that. There was another receiver taken the first round, Emeka Egbuka, went to Tampa Bay, which I thought made no sense to me. Like that draft pick, I thought was asinine. But anyway, I mean, he's a good player. I think eventually he'll be good, but I don't see him doing much this year as the 4th receiver on the team. You're talking about like fantasy 4th receivers. He's literally the 4th receiver on the team. So where would you take Emeka Egbuka?
I mean, you're the 4th receiver on a team that I'm not sure is going to be explosive. I'm not sure about the quarterback. Like, what? Like, you're like a 15th round pick to me. Like you're a flyer. Like, I want no part of that.
Yeah, I agree. His ADP is round 9, pick 7.
Like why? Like, why? Like, I bet we could look at the list and come up with a dozen receivers you'd rather have that were being drafted after him. Like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah, we'll look in a second because there's some other guys around him. Let's go to let's group these two guys together. Tyler Warren and Colson Loveland, the 2 tight ends drafted in the top 14. Colson Loveland went 10 to the Bears. Tyler Warren went 14 to the Colts. So where would you take those guys? I know you're a huge fan of tight ends and love drafting them early. So where would you take those 2 guys?
I can't draft either one. I can't do it. I can't draft them. First of all, why did the Bears take? Is this Loveland guy good? I don't know. I've never seen him play. I've seen Warren play because I've seen 3 Penn State games in the last 5 years. Nice. But like everything, I mean, overwhelmingly, everything I've read is Warren was clearly the cut above the rest of the field. And what are the Bears doing? Am I wrong? Is what I've read wrong, or is this just a totally ridiculous pick?
I thought it was ridiculous. Although Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Bears, said that Colson Loveland reminded him of Sam Laporta, which is why he drafted him. So he wants to run 2 tight end sets. I mean, it makes sense because they already had Cole Kmet. So people are like, well, why'd they take a tight end? But you can run 2 tight end sets. Remember, the Patriots had Gronk and then Aaron Hernandez. So you can do it, but still, I thought that Warren was better. I didn't hear anyone thinking that Loveland was better, but they were both considered top 20 picks. So even though I think it's a mistake, it's not like the craziest thing in the world.
So to me, I've already said this, rookies were overdrafted. They take a while. the position where rookies adapt the slowest historically is tight end. And I think sometimes we get spoiled. It's like, oh, we had Sam Laporta, and like we occasionally have a tight end that hits, but it's like the vast majority of the time, rookie tight ends are absolutely worth zero. And so it's like, and I already think tight ends are worthless. So I just like, dude, like maybe they're a 12th round pick for me. Like that's what I think about these guys. Warren a 12th round pick, Loveland a 14th round pick. That's my thoughts.
Okay, well, we have more overdrafted players. Tyler Warren's ADP is round 8, pick 10. Colson Loveland's ADP is round 9, pick 2. So right next to each other.
Yeah, maybe I'll be totally wrong. I just every year I'm told, oh, this tight end's going to break out. This tight end's going to break out, and like most of the time they don't. I should go back and do a research project on all rookies, not just running backs.
Yeah, there's two research projects already. You're going to be busy. In addition, once you get your car, once you get your minivan, you'll be able to write these. I think this is an overreaction to what we saw at Brock Bowers last year. Because Brock Bowers had an amazing rookie year. He was the tight end 1 in fantasy down the stretch. These guys are not Brock Bowers. Like I like Tyler Warner a lot, but he's not Bowers, and I like Loveland even less. Like he's not Brock Bowers either. And it's like even like look at Loveland. Like he has to compete for targets with DJ Moore and Rome Odunze and another receiver they drafted in the second round. So like, I just round 9 for that. Like if he were just on the team by himself and there was like maybe one other guy like viable playmaker, like you could maybe argue it, but like it's such a crowded offense. Like how is he going to get the production to warrant a round 9 pick? This seems crazy to me.
He's not.
No, yeah, that's the answer. He's not. Okay. Let's go. We have how many left? We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 players left. Okay, so Cam Scatterbo, who is a highly talked about player from Arizona State, had a great playoff run. He went to the Giants, so the soul is sad there. He's going to have to compete with Tyron Tracy and Devin Singletary. So where would you draft Cam Scatterbo?
I mean, he's a wide receiver 5. Right,
running back 5.
A running back 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like he's your low end bench guy. Like he's a like. Do I really think? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Like it's like I don't want any of these guys to be before double digit rounds, right? So like 12th round, like 13th round.
His ADP is round 9, pick 5.
Yeah.
I mean he's a name, right? Like people are excited to draft him, I guess. But so here he is, Cam Scatterbo, pick number 101. He's going around where Justin Fields is. There's Loveland, Najee Harris, Brandon Ayuk. He's coming off 20 CL. DeAndre Swift, and the Bears, by the way, didn't draft the running back to compete with Swift. That's a major boost to him.
I mean, Pacheco is being drafted down that direction. Jaylen Warren,
your favorite, Evan Ingram. Jada Reed right here.
I mean, you got like guys there that have like legitimate upside. Why would I take a rookie, maybe Giants? Why would I sell my soul to the devil for that nonsense? Like, why would I do that?
He's got to prove a cool player, so maybe I don't know. Maybe make an exception. Probably not, right? Okay, all right. So like we have 7 players left. Let's go to Luther Burden because I just brought up the Bears, the Bears player that they drafted in the second round. So this guy, some people thought he'd go first round. Luther Burden went second round to the Bears, so I assume he's going to play slot where Keenan Allen played last year. So where would you draft Luther Burden?
Yeah, because Keenan Allen put up such great numbers that we want to.
He could have like a 3 or 4 week stretch where he is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, do I want this guy? This guy's not in the top 120 players. I mean, this is a 12th round pick, 13th round pick. Flyer.
Well, his ADP is around 10, pick 2.
Yeah.
Not as egregiously bad as some of the other ones, but still pretty bad.
Is the only guy that I've thought is being drafted properly is Caleb Johnson. Is that the only guy?
That's right, and he wasn't even underdrafted. He's drafted like in the right area. So we'll see. Maybe we'll have one at the end here. All right. So next receiver is Jaden Higgins. He was taken by the Texans. who obviously need receiver help because you had Stephon Diggs leave via free agency. Tank Dell had a horrific knee injury, so he's going to be out for all of 2025. So Jaden Higgins has the potential to be the number 2 receiver on the Texans. So he's kind of a bigger receiver. So where would you take Jaden Higgins?
Yeah, I think I might be a little bit higher. Everything I've read is that he's got some things that help translate quickly. So he's a bigger receiver. He's a really good route runner, apparently. Kind of understands some pro concepts. So if the Texans, if I expect them to take a little bit of a step forward, I could see him being like a decent flex option from week to week. So that makes him a 9th or 10th round pick.
All right, well, we're right in the area as ADP is round 10, pick 7. So dare I say slightly underdrafted?
Slightly, yeah, I think so, man. Very ever so slightly.
Yeah. I'm kind of confused why Higgins is going so late compared to these other guys. Like he's going 21 picks later, he's going 17 picks later than Loveland. He's going 33 picks later than Golden. He's going 12 picks later than Scadaboo. Like, doesn't make sense to me. I agree with that. I wonder, like, the only issue I have with him is like potential separation issues. He's a bigger receiver, but he did run a fast 40, so maybe that's not warranted. All right, so we have our next receiver, another 2nd round pick, Trey Harris, who was taken by the Chargers. So obviously the Chargers had nothing outside receiver. Obviously they had Ladd McConkey in the slot, but outside receiver they Quentin Johnson, who couldn't stop dropping passes. Joshua Palmer was a disappointment last year, but he's gone to Buffalo anyway. So they really had a big need there, and they took Trey Harris. So potentially a starter sooner rather than later with Justin Herbert. So where would you take Trey Harris?
Yeah, I don't know if this guy's actually good. So I think that's my problem. Like I don't, I get the scouting reports seem to be mixed on him. I don't know what you guys thought of him. I don't know what Charlie thought of him coming in. He seems to get a lot of mixed reviews. And it's not like the Chargers want to be a prolific passing attack, which I just think is dumb when you got Justin Herbert, who's got this live arm. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this guy. Like, could he be a repeat of Ladd McConkey? Not in style, but like a repeat being like a really productive rookie receiver. Like, absolutely, he could be. But could he just be like the 200th best player in fantasy next year? Sure. So I don't know. It just feels like all that to say, I don't know. Again, it's take a flyer, 12th round, 13th round.
Okay, we're back to being overdrafted. His ADP is round 10, pick 11.
Yeah. I mean, if you're taking flyers at the end of the 10th round, I guess it's fine. But I typically not. I mean, I'm usually just thinking about my starting tight end or starting quarterback at that point. So
yeah. Or in best ball, it's the sweet spot where you take your quarterbacks. I found this year. Okay, so we have 4 guys left. Jake Betch, the receiver for the Raiders. So the Raiders, obviously, they needed a receiver with Devontae Adams gone. So the Raiders took this guy in the 2nd round, pick 58 out of TCU. This has been a long history of TCU receivers succeeding, so maybe he's going to be the next one. Just kidding. So where would you take Jake Betch, so the new receiver for the Raiders?
Everything I've read is that this guy's maybe overdraft. Like the scouting reports are not like Lovin's glowing this. Like this is not great reports. So in the Raiders, like, do I trust this team? Geno Smith, like he's fine. I guess he was fine last year, but like I don't know. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe the offense will actually be good. They got a receiver and they got a running back. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I'm not interested. It's like a 13th round pick to me. A flyer.
ADP is round 11, pick 6. So kind of close. I'm not in love with him either. He had a really good pre-draft process. He had a great Senior Bowl, if I remember correctly, and then good combine workouts. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to do well in the NFL. All right, so we have 3 guys left, and this is actually a 4th round pick, but I think, obviously he's in the top 150, so definitely worth discussing. because the Jacksonville drafted him as a running back. It's Bashal Tutin, the running back that out of Virginia Tech. And I say this because, Travis Etienne has been a huge bust. They have Tank Bigsby, who's better, but like they may not trust him. So Tutin could get, most of the workload late in the year or something. So I can see why he's being drafted in the top 150. Where would you draft Bashal Tutin?
Don't forget, we have Mr. Cartavius, aka Tank, who I think will be the primary ball carrier. So, by the way, if you have a name like Cartavius, I think that's a pretty badass name. Like, oh, Tank's a pretty good nickname, but I like Cartavius anyway.
It is pretty badass. I agree.
I don't know, man. These guys, like, you just like, you draft a guy and you're going to switch his position. Are you going to actually be good? Are you going to actually run the ball? Are you going to actually give this guy carries? Like, this is like a 15th round pick to me. Like, I just, it's too many question marks.
Okay. Well, his ADP is 1202.
Yeah. Like, I bet we can come up with a dozen guys being taken after him that we would clearly take ahead of him.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that in a second because there's, I'll show you why. All right, two more guys. The last running back we'll get to, Jadon Blue, who might be the next starting running back for the Cowboys, because they have such great running backs there, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders. So Jadon Blue might be able to pass those guys. If he can't, that's a bad sign. He's a super speedy guy out of Texas. So where would you draft? If assuming that you didn't want to avoid the Cowboys, where would you draft Jadon Blue?
Yeah, I think I like a lot of people seem to like this guy, and a lot of people seem to like the fit. We saw what Rico Doodle did last year, and like Blue has a lot of the same skills, but also more ability to run in between the tackles, and he's bigger, and like if the Cowboys are like, if they stay healthy, like they'll be productive offense. So I think this guy's worth a flyer. Again, not more than a 12th round, but I'd be willing to take him ahead of some of the other guys we mentioned. Maybe early 12th, maybe even if you really want to take a shot in best ball, take a shot in the 11th. I think that's fair.
All right, we have our second other drafted guy. His ADP is 1306.
Whoa, that is a shock.
It's late, isn't it? I mean, like, he could be the starting running back on the team very easily. Like, those two guys ahead of him are not good. Javonte Williams hasn't been the same since the ACL, and Miles Sanders hasn't been the same since. He was never good, but to be fair, he was never good. So no, I mean, unless Williams has this like miraculous recovery, like I would think Blue starts down the stretch. Maybe not. I would assume not right away, but November onward, I think he has a chance. So round 13 is pretty good.
I guess there's a world where Javonte Williams totally heals up and is, a very productive running back again. I wouldn't bet on it, but I think I think that's not a crazy possibility. There's a world where Miles Sanders bounces back and he's able to recapture some of what we saw in Philly. And that he's a 600-yard rusher this year. Like, I don't think that's a ridiculous. That's not a very high bar. Obviously, I'm just saying like it's possible that this just becomes like a mediocre committee, and that none of them really produce.
No. Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be a lot of shared workload there, and it's not like too exciting, especially for regular fantasy leagues. But in best ball, take a guy in the 13th round, like you're looking for spike weeks at that point, and Blue has the speed to get those spike weeks, I think. So I said this, like quarterback, like the sweet spot for them is like round 8, 9, 10, 11 to get your 2 out of your 3 guys, maybe even 3. I think the sweet spot to get like late round flyers for running backs is rounds 13 to 16, or even like maybe a little bit like sooner for Garendo. Like I've been taking like Garendo around 12 or so, or maybe even around 11, and then drafting like your Tyler Algiers, your Blake Corums, and I think Jadon Blue is going to be in that group,
in that category.
Yeah. All right, last one. We saved the last one for the first pick of the draft. Cam Ward, the only quarterback we're going to be talking about. Cam Ward is in the only quarterback in the top 150. Not surprising because all the other quarterbacks sucked. So Cam Ward obviously has the scrambling ability to play well. as a fantasy player. So where would you draft Cam Ward?
I wouldn't. No, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done my ranks yet fully, but like, what are you trying to think? What is he going to be, Mike? Is he going to be my 20th quarterback in fantasy off the board? Like I don't draft, in best ball. If I have, in a best ball format where I'm going to have to draft 2 or 3 quarterbacks, obviously, because there's no transactions throughout the course of the season. Then yeah, I'm going to be drafting 3 quarterbacks, and then a Cam Ward is going to be on my radar as my 3rd quarterback maybe. So where are you? Where are people taking their 3rd quarterbacks typically in best ball?
It's all
round
over the place.
12, round 14.
Yeah, look, I think a normal drafter would take them between round 11 and round 16. After round 16, they're all gone. There's no more starters available. So you're looking at like Daniel Jones and stuff after that. So I think in best ball, you need 3 quarterbacks because you get one guy injured and suddenly you have 2, and then you have a bye week. And if you only have 2, like you're screwed. You get a 0 quarterback. So you need 3. You need at least 3. So yeah, it's different for best ball than it is for standard.
Yeah.
Like in standard, unless you're like in a 20 team league or something, where like you need 2 QB league, like you need like you're never gonna have 3 quarterbacks. It's insane to do that. So
yeah, to me, Cam Ward might be like the 20, somewhere in like the 20 to 22 range in terms of fantasy quarterbacks. Like that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, and so like in a standard league or a typical fantasy league, he's like, don't draft him. Like it's a terrible decision. Mm-hmm. But in best ball, then I'm looking maybe 13th, 14th round. I'd be willing to draft him.
Close is okay. So his ADP is 1206, so a little bit earlier. I do get the upside. I think he's one of those guys who kind of have those spike weeks with his rushing ability. If he plays like a bad team that can't defend scrambling quarterbacks, like he could have a good game fantasy wise and just rush for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns or something. Like I don't think that's insane to think that could happen. So I do like him as a QB3 in best ball, just for the upside. And we are very close in the overall rankings. I have Cam Ward as my 19th quarterback. So you're saying 20 to 22. I'm 19th.
I mean, I haven't actually done official ranks. So I'd have to really think about it, but maybe he ends up being higher because you're right. There is some upside there. Yeah, I'll have to think about that too.
Yeah. So he's going in this range, and I wanted to show Tootin here because we talked about it before. Because if I brought this up, he would have shown up. So Baseball Tootin and Cam Ward being drafted around the same area as Trevor Lawrence, Dalton Kincaid, Marvin, my boy Marvin Mims Jr., right. JJ McCarthy, Rashid Shaheed. Feels like that's slow for him, I guess.
Well, Bateman's pretty low for
Rashad Bateman, Keon Coleman, Dallas Goedert. That's low for him. He wasn't traded. Kyle Pitts, Jalen McMillan. That's low for him. Tajay Spears, Michael Penix Jr. So yeah, that's around the round 12 area for best ball.
Yeah, there's with every single one of these guys, I bet we could find at least a dozen, if not more, guys at their position we would take ahead of them for most of these guys.
Yeah, 100%. Real quick, like the first few guys talked about, Hunter and Hampton right next to each other. The guys next to them, James Cook, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Breece Hall, Joe Burrow, DJ Moore, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Joe Mixon, Jalen Hurts. Like, how are these guys in the same area as those two? Are the other ones? I mean,
doesn't make sense.
That's crazy. Every name I mentioned, I would take over those guys. Like, not even close. Not even close.
Is there a world where Hunter is great? Is there a world where Hampton is great? Of course, absolutely. Like we have to look at range of outcomes. Like the range of outcomes, like could Hampton be a RB1 fantasy? Yes, I think he could be. Like he could also be an RB5.
Yeah.
Right. Like what are we doing? Like his range of outcomes is 15 to 75. Like what are we doing?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is great. It's at the same time, like it's bizarre, but it's also great because you get to take advantage of this in best ball. That's your leverage spot. Whereas like during the season when you have those weekly contests, like you can take advantage of overreactions. I always bring this up. Isaiah Likely was a 6th round. Oh no, sorry, he's going in the 4th round after week 1 after what he did.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous. I know. Like, granted, he had an amazing game, but still, like, to take a guy like that in round 4 in that same draft, Jaden Reed was going second round. So those are two guys you could have avoided in the week 2 best ball and just had a great leverage there. And this is our leverage here, is just avoid these rookies. Cassandra with a couple of things here. Well, quote, if I were DraftKings, I'd say screw the laws and just open up in Florida. What are they going to do about it? Legit question. What would they do? What would they do? They're gonna arrest you? Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna sue you? Like, judge will be like, you can't do it. Like, okay, screw you, judge. What are you gonna do? Seriously, like, Biden ignored the judges for the student loan stuff. Trump's ignoring judges now. Like, judges have no power. They can make their judgments, and like, they can't do anything about it. And so 37,000 worth of Marvin Mims Rainmaker cards. It's dude, it's how depressing is that? Like, every time I would get Marvin Mims, and like, he sucked, and then like late this year he was great, and I couldn't use those cards. He had like 3 or 4 games late in the year where he just had amazing stats. The cards are gone. I actually still have them in some sort of wallet, but you can't. Obviously, there were no contests to play it.
Right.
That's depressing. So anyway, let's end that on a down note. You couldn't get your minivan. I lost my Marvin Mims Rainmaker cards. Let's hope for better days ahead. And let's hope,
tough times.
Yeah. Let's hope the Timberwolves hold on to the lead. They're up 3. I'm just watching on TV. So
Nice.
I bet I have a 60-1 bet on them to win the championship. So
nice.
Right. I bet them tonight as well. But like the 60-1. I think they're the 3rd best team in the NBA, personally, like behind Boston, OKC in some order, and then Minnesota. I think the 3rd. I think they're better in Cleveland. Not a big believer in Cleveland. And then like, there's no one else in the West that like excites me. Like, people think the Clippers, but like, I don't know. The James Harden's going to choke. Denver can't play defense. Golden State is, I guess they're okay, but like Houston can't score. Like, all these teams are flawed. And I think like Minnesota is so good. Minnesota's really good. Sometimes there's no need for a minivan. Get a golf cart. Super safe rides. That's the way to do it. Just talk to your wife about that. See how
that goes over.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for the show. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Thanks to Kenny for coming on, and we'll look at his site, thecapisfake.com. Lots of content on here. Kenny, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, lots of stuff. I did that. If everyone wants to see that article that I did on rookie running backs over the last decade, you can scroll down. You can see that. If you still believe the salary cap is real, you can read about why it is not. Many articles all about that. So check it out.
Yeah, here it says, "Are rookie running backs overrated in fantasy?" Definitely check out this article. I read it a while ago. It's all the articles in here are really good. So check out thecapisfake.com. And then check us out tomorrow. We're going to be back. Not quite sure if we're going to have a guest, but maybe we'll do some best ball drafts and take advantage of these rookies going early. So we'll look forward to that. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Guys, once again, thank you for watching, commenting, and hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.
You the man.